Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and it is June 6, 2012. Time to review the comics that came out today. Okay, first off, from Marvel, we have Avengers Academy number 31, another tie-in to Avengers vs. X-Men. Picking up from where we last left the students of the Academy and the Teen Mutants from Utopia. Sebastian Shaw has showed up after he broke out of his holding cell. And apparently it's revealed that he didn't do it to attack the X-Teens or whatever. He just did it because he wants to help them get off the island because he thinks that it's unfair that that they're pretty much confined here while the whole Avengers vs. X-Men fight is going on. Pretty much then the faculty shows up. They try to stop Shaw, but then X-23 kind of stands up for the entire mutants that are trapped on the island, tells them that, they've been training for this whole to help prepare for the future, what the future of mutant kind holds. Well, apparently the big danger is here now, and that the fact that they can't fight because they're too young, it's just basically wrong. And some of the Academy students agree with X-23, and they take her side. And so pretty much they eventually though, Shaw leaves, and so do all the other X-Teens to go join the fight. All except one mutant, Loa, who decides to stay at Avengers Academy, and also X-23 decides to stay at Avengers Academy as well. My overall opinion, though, is that I think this issue plus the last two that started this whole story arc, I think will probably make a lot of X-23 fans happy, because when her solo series ended, she was moved to Avengers Academy, and I'm not so sure if a lot of people picked that up because she was going to be in it, but I would say that if you're an X-23 fan, you should definitely pick this issue up as well as the last two, because those will probably convince you that X-23 is the right fit for Avengers Academy, and that you'll probably enjoy her there, and that she is definitely in good hands with Christos Gage writing her. Alright, now from Marvel, the big thing. Avengers vs. X-Men, Round 5. The Phoenix has arrived, and it's starting to affect Hope. However, Hope's finding it very difficult to control her powers, and right when she kind of begs Wolverine to kill her, Logan's about to do it, but then Cyclops blasts Wolverine because apparently he still wants Hope to be affected, even though it's practically destroying her. Seriously, they really do. Marvel's pretty much new punching bag is Cyclops, because they're really making him look like a big douche now. And anyways, while this is going on, Iron Man and Hank Pym finally finished the preparations Tony Stark made to his big anti-Phoenix weapon, and it's like this huge giant cannon-type armor that I guess a lot of people are going to start calling it the Phoenix Buster armor. Pretty much, Iron Man takes the new weapon, flies off to where the Phoenix is, fires some huge beam at it, and it pretty much evaporates the Phoenix, and then it also knocks Hope out. But apparently, Iron Man's just suddenly after this, Iron Man's suddenly staring in space like, wait, did I just kill the Phoenix? No, you did not, Tony. Instead, the Phoenix went and possessed the 5 X-Men on the moon, who are Cyclops, Colossus, Magic, Emma Frost, and Namor. The Phoenix has possessed them because it realized that Hope isn't ready to be the Avatar, to pretty much be its Avatar yet. So now the Phoenix is going to take Hope back to Earth, where it can make all the preparations so Hope will officially be the Avatar, and they pretty much fly off back to Earth, and that's how the issue ends. Okay, well, the Phoenix has arrived, it's chosen its host, but it wasn't who we expected. Okay, it does seem a lot like Hope is. It does show a lot that Hope's whole fears about losing control and destroying everyone are evident in this book, and she is aware of how powerful the Phoenix is. That's why she asked Wolverine to come with her in the first place, that someone can be there in case she gets out of control. She does realize the dangers of this. However, most of the X-Men, such as Cyclops, are unaware of this. Some of them still believe that she can handle it, she's meant to do this, and now that the Phoenix has possessed pretty much the members of Cyclops' extinction team, that's what they're called, we're now in for more trouble. And also, some people's powers are reacting to it, such as we do get a cameo by Scarlet Witch in this book where it does show her powers sort of reacting to the Phoenix coming and stuff. But still, this is definitely a good event. really big turning point in this issue. Apparently, this is the end of Act 1, and I think now we're going to start to enter Act 2, which is now the Phoenix is on Earth. What the hell's going to happen? And then and then I believe in issue 7, which is going to take place in July. That's when we're going to find out what it means when we hear no more Avengers. Okay. Now it's time for DC. First off, Smallville, Season 11, Number 2. In this issue, we learn a few more things about what Clark's been up to. He's developed multi-spectrum vision, which is pretty much allows him to see more than just X-ray vision, but also like every single layer of the electromagnetic spectrum. And also, he's been trying to figure out the limits of his powers at Star Labs with Dr. Emil Hamilton. And also, Lex Luthor has officially announced his whole project to build the group of satellites in space known as the Guardian Defense Program that will pretty much detect unwanted alien visitors. And he announces that the pilot of the first shuttle for the project is this world's version of Hank Henshaw, aka who most of you may recognize in the main DC universe as Cyborg Superman. And pretty much when the shuttle is launched, there's an accident, there's an explosion in the shuttle, Superman goes up, he rescues almost all the crew, but Henshaw tells Superman to save him for last so he can pilot the shuttle out of orbit so it doesn't so the radiation leaking from the shuttle won't harm anyone. And of course, when Superman goes to save Henshaw, he just gets out of the atmosphere, he's losing oxygen, Superman gets to him right when he blacks out, and when Superman takes him back to Earth, Henshaw is like in really bad shape, suffering from like really bad radiation burns and stuff, and Superman then tells the ambulances take him to Star Labs immediately, blah blah blah. And then and that's pretty much what happens. And on the final page, though, we see Lex talking to his assistant about the explosion, and from Lex's dialogue, we hear that apparently the explosion wasn't an accident, and apparently Lex may have done this just so he can get Superman's attention and get some one-on-one time with the Man of Steel. So, yeah, I would say this is definitely a good issue. They are definitely expanding this. This is probably the first expansion of the Smallville cast since this comic series began with the addition of Hank Henshaw. I have no idea how I really look forward to how they're going to play off Hank Henshaw's role in the Smallville universe. Can't wait to see that. I'm really happy. I'm really enjoying this book. If you're a fan of Smallville or Superman, or both, I would definitely recommend picking this book up. Okay, next up, Earth 2, Issue 2. Mr. Terrific has arrived on Earth 2 now, and he's greeted by Terry Sloane, who apparently is the smartest man on Earth, well, this Earth anyways, and he pretty much briefly turns Mr. Terrific's T-spheres against him and knocks Mr. Terrific out, and he states that Mr. Terrific's intelligence is a threat to what he has planned for this Earth. Now, this sounds strange because... Okay, wait, I'll get to that for the opinion, but after the whole Mr. Terrific 3-page thing ends, we cut back to Jay Garrick with dying god Mercury, who pretty much in his final moments decides to give Jay pass on his powers of super speed to Jay Garrick, and Jay Garrick becomes the Flash in this issue. And also the costume comes with the powers, apparently. That's a little strange. And anyways, Jay's pretty much testing out his new powers. He saves a couple that's being attacked in an alley. Then later he tries to test out how fast he is, and when he stops, he winds up in Poland, where he runs into Hawkgirl. And meanwhile, and also in this issue, Alan Scott is in China. He meets his boyfriend Sam, and while they're on a train ride to their hotel, Alan's about to propose to Sam, but then suddenly, boom! An explosion in the train causes it to fall off the bridge, and looks like it's going to crash. And our teaser on the last page is next issue, Green Lantern. So Earth 2. Well, Jay has a new costume and apparently a new origin, because the original way they did Jay Garrick's powers was that he was a college student and he discovered some sort of hard water properties, and that gave him his super speed somehow. You'll have to go like Wikipedia or something for a full description about it, but it was more sort of a science fiction origin, but this is more of a mythological origin with the dying god Mercury giving him super speed, pretty much making him to take his place, whatever. Oh yeah, also Mercury warns Jay of some sort of new darkness coming to Earth 2 that's apparently worse than Darkseid. Yeah. Also, I don't understand how Jay gets a new costume with this. I mean, I really am not a fan of the new costume. I understand that, see, Jay Garrick is supposed to be kind of like the everyman character of this Earth and stuff, but with the whole costume appearing right when he uses his powers, I kind of find that taking that quality, weakening the whole everyman quality of Jay, because, if they had stuck with the original costume, like, I don't know, make it sort of something he put together with street clothes, that would be more understandable. But but the whole appearing because it was a side effect of his powers, that's just, I don't know, a little strange for me. But maybe over time I'll get used to it. But Earth 2 is still a very interesting... Oh yeah, one more thing about the thing I was going to say about Terry Sloane. He's the original Mr. Terrific, okay? He's the original from the Golden Age Mr. Terrific who believed in fair play and stuff, but the way they write him at the beginning of this, he comes off as kind of a villain. I don't know, are they going to do that and make Terry Sloane a villain just to make Michael Holt, the current Mr. Terrific, look more like a hero? If they do that, that's bad writing right there. That's just ridiculous. But who knows, maybe Mr. Terrific, Terry Sloane does have better intentions, maybe not. I'll just have to keep reading to find out, because, this is a very interesting book, and I want to see how they're going to plan on Alan Scott discovering the Lantern next issue to become Green Lantern. So I'm going to stick around for the next issue next month. Okay, moving on. Animal Man number 10. John Constantine, Zatara, Madame Xanadu all meet with Ellen Baker, Animal Man's wife, to tell her that Madame Xanadu saw a vision of the future, and it was the rot pretty much have destroyed the world, and the only living people left are Maxine and Ellen, and apparently Ellen was the cause of the rot taking over the world and stuff. And meanwhile, later in an alley, the rot who've possessed Animal Man's body are seen talking to Cliff, sort of trying to convince him to join them and stuff, telling him... Well, they pretty much come in as Animal Man, acting like Buddy, trying to tell Cliff that something's going to go down with Maxine and his mom, that he needs to trust him right now. And this whole time, though, Buddy Baker, Animal Man, he's still in the red, which is like this huge reddish area of life. I don't know how descriptive I can get, but anyways, he's in the red. He goes to meet with the main totem avatars of the red and stuff, and they pretty much say that they pretty much inform him about how Maxine's in danger and how he sort of failed as her guardian by getting killed by the rot, and that the rot has taken over his body now, and also that the rot is now trying to corrupt his son Cliff. So when Buddy hears this, he's pretty much like, take me back to Earth, I need to put me back in my body, but the totems say that they can't put Buddy back in the body. However, they can make him they can make a new Animal Man by making him a new Buddy Baker. I'm not so sure what that means, but I kind of look forward to seeing what that is. Animal Man is still a great series. It's sort of a mixture of both superhero and mythical and the sort of dark elements that exist in like Justice League Dark and Swamp Thing. So it's kind of a mixture of both, though. I will say this, though, that it is a little gore. The artwork in this is still kind of gory, so so I would say probably mature PG-13 at best. Still, it's a good series. I would definitely recommend it to pretty much people who I think are who are probably old enough to stomach most of the artwork. Okay, now for the final comic. Action Comics number 10. We're still 5 years ago, but it's just shortly after the Justice League is formed. Some guy named Maxim Zarov, a.k.a. Nimrod the Hunter, is tracking down Clark Kent so basically he can kill him. I mean, that's pretty much his game here. This guy Nimrod is like, he's kind of like Kraven the Hunter. He wants to, it's kind of the same relationship Kraven the Hunter had with Spider-Man. He wants to hunt Clark Kent down so that he can kill some sort of rare species of game. That's pretty much it, and be like the greatest hunter ever. And while Nimrod's tracking Clark, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are bringing Clark with them to have lunch with Perry White, just kind of a meet and greet or whatever, and I guess try to convince Clark to join the Daily Planet. However, on their way going there, Clark notices that there's a guy with a bomb strapped to his chest, head towards the Daily Star building. And when Clark approaches him, it's this guy named Angus Grundig, who apparently Clark did a story for the Daily Star, and it ruined this guy's life, and now he's pretty much trying to take out the Daily Star. And when Clark tries to talk him out of it, the guy presses the trigger and blows up the Daily Star building. I don't know if the building was evacuated, but however, Clark was close enough to the blast, and it looks like Clark is dead. And meanwhile, Nimrod arrives at Clark's apartment, and he runs into Clark's landlady, and Clark's landlady tells Nimrod that Clark Kent is dead. And so Nimrod's like, wait, this can't mean that Superman is dead. But then the landlady corrects him and says that, no, Superman's not dead. Then Superman appears and fights Nimrod, but each time Nimrod keeps pulling out a gun and trying to use it against Superman, it just, well, let's face it, bullets don't have any effect on Superman. When he crushes the gun, the feedback of it pretty much blows up in Nimrod's face, and so Superman beats him up, and Nimrod's face is half of Nimrod's face is pretty much badly scarred and stuff. And Superman takes him to the hospital, where later after he leaves, some guy approaches Nimrod with an offer to join an army against Superman. And I guess in this case, since the bomb went off in order to protect his secret, Clark Kent is legally dead in this case. And we get back, and again, since this is a $3.99 book, we get a backup feature. And in the backup, it's pretty much just a bunch of Clark's friends who've gotten together, Clark's friends and colleagues who've gotten together so that they can reminisce on their favorite Clark moments. And it is very, very nice to hear what nice things they have to say about Clark. You know, how he was always considerate of others, and how he cared for the people he wrote about. And he wasn't just a great reporter, but also a great human being. And while they're doing this and sharing their stories, Superman is right outside of the bar where they're telling the stories, and he's listening on the whole thing, and it is making him sad, and it really is making him sad that he can no longer be Clark Kent. But unfortunately, however, we know better. The readers, we know better. He is going to become Clark Kent again. The question is how. Well, that was something I didn't really expect. The whole Clark Kent being legally dead thing. I've seen this story done, I think, once almost every Superman series. I mean, I know they did in Lois and Clark, and they did in Superman the Animated Series, and both of the series, it's pretty much tells gives the person watching or the reader why Superman needs to be Clark Kent. I mean, that's something most people ask themselves. Why does Superman need to be Clark Kent? In this case, does he really need to protect anyone? Because his adoptive parents are gone, his homeworld is gone, he pretty much is on his own. So why does he need to be Clark Kent? I think this will give us a reason why. And it does say that Superman will take up a new secret identity, but the question is why. But I think it will explain why he needs to be Clark Kent in particular, why not just anyone else like John Smith or whatever. Also, action is again set 5 years ago in the past, and the weird thing is, even though this story is the first story arc for Action, Superman got the armored suit, but he doesn't wear it that often this issue. He only wears it for like maybe a few panels when he's kind of talking with the Justice League. That's all. Other times he's just pretty much wearing the t-shirt, cape, and jeans combo. I think the reason he's doing... So I think maybe we'll get an explanation as to why he's wearing why he's switching back and forth between his costumes and when he'll start wearing the armor full time. And again, I do like what Grant Morrison is doing here, kind of filling in the 5-year gap, because this is really an advantage Superman does have over the other DC books, is because they all skipped 5 years ahead after the first Justice League story arc. With Action, we're kind of filling in the gap for what's going on with Superman. Everyone else, though, not really. It's up in the air. There's pretty much like a gap for mostly everyone else, and yeah, it is kind of being filled up for kind of being explained in Aquaman right now, but I think that's prior to the Justice League. Right now, we're kind of getting the 5-year gap filled out for Superman and Action Comics, which I think is great, and it does give Superman kind of an advantage in the whole DC franchises. Still, Action Comics is very great. I would definitely recommend this that people should give it a shot. Okay, well, that's it for my comics. I also want to take this time right now to talk about looking ahead for the month of June, and I am going to be very busy with work, and I did say this on my feed. With the month of June, I'm going to be busy with work and a bunch of other personal stuff that's going to take up a lot of my time. I don't even know when I'll be able to go to the comics shop and get my books on time. And when I'm going to be able to read them, when I'm going to be able to review them. I got lucky this week, okay? I really did get lucky with getting the comics today, reading them, and shooting this review. Actually, I'm shooting this review Wednesday night. I'm probably going to upload this maybe Thursday night when I get the chance, because right now it's very late and I have to be up early. So, I'm very sorry, but there will be some delays for the next month. I apologize to all my subscribers, but I also want to thank you all for sticking with me this long. You all are great. I really appreciate this, because this channel would be nothing if there weren't people to watch it. So thank you. Okay, round off. Action Comics number 10. Clark Kent is legally dead. What's Superman's new identity going to be? No idea. I'd still definitely recommend this book. Still recommend it. Animal Man number 10. The Red have decided that with the Rod growing more powerful, they need to create a new Animal Man. What does that mean? We have no idea. What does that mean? Don't know. But this is still a great issue. A little gory, but still a pickup. Earth 2. Jay Garrick becomes the Flash. If you are a Jay Garrick fan, I definitely recommend picking this up. For all you fans of Alan Scott, wait till next issue. Little brief explanation about Mr. Terrific. Don't know whether Terry Sloane will be hero or villain. We'll just have to keep reading to find out more. And Smallville season 11 number 2. Really enjoying this series. Fans of the Smallville TV series are definitely going to enjoy this. I would definitely recommend picking it up. Avengers vs. X-Men round 5. The Phoenix has taken the host, but it's not who we expected. Definitely, if you're not reading this event, you should be. It's awesome. Avengers Academy. This issue and the last two give X-23 fans a reason why they should be reading this now, since she's on the book and she is in good hands with writer Christos Gage. Definitely a buy. Okay, so that's all of my comic books for this week. Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later, and thanks for watching.